Welcome to another episode, Change Tomorrow Today. It's always a treat when a gentleman's me.
Church.
I'm your host, Al.
Man, y'all know me. I'm Ralph, baby. I'm Ralph, and I'm excited today, Al,
Hey, man, super excited.
Man, I'm super excited, man, to introduce our player partner, man, Rodson, baby.
Yeah,
welcome
definitely.
to the show, man.
Appreciate
it's a pleasure
you, man.
having you, man.
It is definitely
We're
an honor.
so happy to have you. And most people probably wondering, man, why are we always having guests nowadays? I promise you, this is going to be the top of the line, the cream of the crop, man.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate
And
it.
the reason why we have the brother here, man, is because it goes to show you, no matter what your past was, there's always a clear path to make your tomorrow better by changing it today. And he exemplifies all of that, man, through Christ, who strengthens them every day. Ain't that right, brother?
Yo, man, you speaking nothing but the truth, man. That is definitely an honor to be here with you, brothers. Most importantly, we don't take this day for granted. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
We could have been anywhere else on the planet. And
God ordained this day specifically
Exactly.
for this, man.
You know, so they say, any day above ground is a good day.
It's a good
Amen.
day.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
I've always heard that from when I was a kid. Amen. So,
But now we're living it now.
Yeah, man.
We're living it.
Yeah.
So I want to start off by saying, brothers, once again, I want to, highly give all praise to the Most High, most importantly.
Amen.
And number two, I like what you brothers are doing.
Appreciate it.
Bringing, real knowledge and real, intimacy into the community and
Yes,
building
sir.
up one another and inspiring the youth that's coming up, because it's definitely needed in the time that we're living in right now.
Yes, sir.
So,
And I also want to tell you too, man, I love what you do on Facebook too, man.
Oh,
I watch
definitely.
your segments, man. It's very, 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 very uplifting, man. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
Giving the word of God in a way
Yeah.
where anybody can understand
Absolutely.
what was
Right.
being said in the book of God. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I mean, looking forward to it, fella. Let's dive in.
Man, listen, man. I'm sorry. I'm excited, brother.
Hey, I'm excited too.
Listen, man. I don't want to talk about the Rodson of today yet.
Yes.
Because people need to understand the journey. Like
Absolutely.
people, I don't know how many people are familiar with the Bible, man.
Right.
But Saul to Paul, you
Right.
really exemplify that, brother.
Right,
And I want to dive into your early beginnings, man.
Right.
Where you from? Your nationality, man? How long you been living in Miami? You know what I'm saying? Tell us a little bit more
Yeah.
about.
Let
So-
the audience know.
I'm first generation here in Miami.
Okay.
First generation. My grandfather came here in 1964, and
From where?
so he came here on a small raft
From where?
from Haiti.
Okay.
14 friends, and only 3 survived.
Wow.
Coming here.
Coming here, man. And that story was very detrimental to me, because it just shows the courage that he had to know you're not guaranteed.
It's not promised, yeah.
These guys. I mean, though he was a craftsman, they built the boat together. Young men in their early 40s, 45, mid 45, and they took a risk.
Right.
They risked it. 14 friends, only 3 survived.
Dang.
You know what I mean? Only 3 survived. So that story was very inspiring and motivating to me. So I knew early on. My mom came here. He sent for her at 9 years old.
From Haiti as well.
From Haiti. Both my parents, migrated from Haiti.
Okay.
My father came here at 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
He went to Miami Jackson Senior High. My mom went to Edison Middle.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Your mom went to Jackson?
No, my dad went to Jackson, Miami Jackson.
Your mom went to Edison.
My mother went to Miami Jackson.
Yeah, my father too, because my father lived in Alapata,
Okay.
right on the street. So this whole neighborhood, Alapata, is, that's the
Right.
beginning of my journey.
Yeah.
In Alapata. So we lived in a Hispanic neighborhood because my father went to Miami Jackson. So when he graduated high school, he got married at 21 years old. My mom was 17 years old.
Okay.
So my mother went to Miami Edison Middle. And so the beginning of my journey was right here in Alapata, on 36. So it was definitely a upbringing. So Spanish was highly spoken. The Haitians,
You speak
our
Spanish.
culture. Yeah, we speak Spanish fluently.
Yes, yes.
Fluently. So so that's where everything started. I saw my dad, working extremely hard, and my father was rooted in the faith.
Okay.
So I'm a type of individual who was born in the faith, raised in the faith. A lot of people not raised in the faith.
But you didn't stay in the faith.
I departed from the faith at 16. I got kicked out of my dad's house when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
But my father, taking you back from the beginning, my father and my mother was married for 7-8 years.
Okay.
They divorced when I was like 6-7 years old.
Okay.
And of course that was a terrifying situation, because my mom, the one that departed, she left.
Oh, okay.
She went back
left
to the
him.
islands.
Okay.
And my father stayed and raised my older brother, myself, and my sister. So
It's only 3 of you guys.
it's only 3.
Okay.
So I think it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because looking back from on a global scale, everything in heaven started with the male.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Adam.
exactly. So having my father, being the one who was able to raise me up, mentor, guide, and lead me in the right direction. So he always implemented the faith You know, he poured a lot of knowledge and wisdom into us early on. My father, everywhere we went with my father after work, my father was a gospel singer.
Oh, okay.
On a big scale.
Yeah.
You know, in the Haitian community.
Yeah.
He was a gospel in all the Haitian churches in Little Haiti, North Miami, you know, all throughout, you know, South Florida. My father was a very great gospel singer. My mother was also in the choir. So I learned, my whole house was full of instruments.
Okay.
You know, full drum set, guitar, bass. I mean, just a full, you know, house full of instruments.
So this is where your inspiration for music.
That's where everything came from.
Right.
So music was embedded.
And you,
It was
from a child.
Yeah. You know, so I came in. That's why I said I came in into the faith, raised in the faith.
Okay.
You know, and so I started playing the percussion at 5 years old, 5, 6 years old, playing with the drums in the house, watching my dad perform on stage, very articulate. He went to college. He graduated from Miami-Dade. So I had people say, you know, why did you do the things you do? But I had a great foundation. There's nothing to brag about, nothing to boast about. I had a solid structure. The void came from not having a sense of love and nurturing from a woman.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was the void. And
That's the only void that you had.
That's the only void that I had. But everything else, I was fully equipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, my father grew me to be a strong-minded individual. My father grew me to be a leader. My father grew me to be determined, you know, ambitious, motivated, inspirational, all those things young.
Yes.
So it got to the point when I turned, you know, I was early in elementary school. I went to Miami Shores Elementary. We lived in Little Haiti. I went to Miami Shores Elementary.
Yeah.
And Miami Shores Elementary, my father worked extremely hard where he purchased a home in North Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And my mom finally, you know, wanted to kind of come back into our life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by this time, she was not able to do so because my father was like, look, you know, you already left these kids, it shattered them. Don't come back in right now. Kind of give them some time to kind of, you know, receive you again.
Got it.
Cause we, you know, by this time I'm 9 years old. I could kind of, you know, take heed to the conversation that's being taking place in the other room.
Yeah.
So by the time I got to elementary school, that void of never feeling, you know, what it means to be told, you know, hey, you know, son, everything gonna be all right. That nurture, cause that's what the mother's for.
Yeah.
The mother's created to
Yeah,
be
because you know Haitian dads, they don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do.
Exactly.
I should say island dads don't
Island
know
dads.
how to show that.
Yeah. And that's just the way it is because, you know, they also was raised that way.
Yes.
You know, speaking from a global perspective in that time.
Right.
And not to mention they was, you know, dealing with segregation too. So there was a lot of slave mentality going on pertaining to the islands because Haiti was enslaved by French, by the French.
Yeah.
So it was hard for them to express their emotions. But my father did the opposite. He did.
Oh, he did.
He always told me, man, I love you, son.
Oh, okay.
You know, the best thing that happened to me, son. But you yearn from that naturally. Remember, there's a
To hear from a woman.
From a woman. You know what I mean? So when I went to school, I saw the kids getting kissed by their mom. I saw the kids being hugged by their mother. So you always yearn for the opposite. It's just the way it was. That's why by design we were created to have a two household, two parents household.
Yeah.
That's just by design.
Yeah.
And you just can't go against that.
Yeah.
So when my mother decided to come back to my life, I was already fighting in the third grade. You know, my first day at Fulford Elementary.
Problem.
Yeah. Having an older brother too. My brother I learned everything from my older brother.
Right.
That's who you gonna learn.
Yeah, I learned everything from this man. Man, this man was a problem.
Right.
You know, so I knew I wanted nothing to do and follow this man. You know, because I watched how my father would discipline this man and he would be on punishment. So my father made it very clear to me, son, you're different. Don't be like your older brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My brother was, you know, fresh off the porch. But it was hard to do that when you were a year apart.
Yeah.
Through everything that he did, I'm right with him.
So you gonna follow suit.
So you watching, you observing, if
and you're right there at the hip.
that's my hip.
Yeah.
So this man hit elementary hard, man. He was, you know, defending the Haitian culture, fighting and everything like that. My older cousins.
At Fulford.
Yeah, at Fulford, my brother made a name for himself. So once he made a name for himself, I immediately made a name for myself because it was like, listen, you're like, tell me, look, listen, bro, ain't nobody gonna respect you like Dad said unless we have to make that. We have to build that for ourselves.
Yeah.
So I made a name for myself early on and calling out, you know, who's the hardest kid out here? And of course, at the time, it was Emmanuel Coffee.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Bo was the hardest kid at Fulford.
So we thumped it out. And I won that. You know what I mean? And then I went to the next kid, was Ryan Roberts.
Yeah, I remember Ryan Roberts.
Hey, you remember that?
Yeah.
I remember Ryan.
Because, you know, these are things that never leave you. As you become a man and you remember, like, man, how did I become the way I became?
Yeah.
You know, your past has a lot to do with your future.
Of course.
Have a lot to do with your future, you know, with that seed that was planted in you from a child growing up into becoming a man. So like I said, I had a great foundation. So when I transitioned to middle school, my brother was one of the most popular men in middle school at John F. Kennedy, being in a group called PCC.
I remember PCC.
So, you know, by the time I transitioned to middle school, I was dealing with beef everywhere because that's my brother. So, you know, being my brother, so it's like I was ready to take middle school to the next level. Middle school is where I really wanted to broadcast and showcase my talents. But I was musically, because, you know, music, I was singing. I was in R&B group in elementary school.
You was in R&B group?
R&B group in elementary school. You know, we sung Shy, the Boys, the Men's, you know, the Backstreets and all of that stuff in the gym. And when middle school, I said, man, I'm gonna showcase my talent. You know what I mean? I'm ready to showcase my talent. But I never really got a chance to do that because the tables turned for me. I had to face, you know, the term they call ops, enemies. So I was like, and then
your brother's enemies.
My brother. It was never my beef, man. It was never my beef. And that's just a tough thing dealing with as a brother, because my brother initially got kicked out of JFK. He went to, you know, the MAC, the opportunity school. And I had to deal with all the beef. So what I did, because I had, you know, groups from elementary school that was loyal and brothers like, look, we rocking with you, Rodson. What's up? This dude don't like me because what we fighting for? Unfortunately, it's my brother beef. So brothers ain't backing down. Like, you know, I'm not backing down as a leader, because your soldiers gonna follow through if you stand firm. Though if they have fear and we're outnumbered, and you know, which I got jumped plenty of times, but dudes ain't gonna square up 1-on-1.
No, they not.
No, they not gonna square up with me 1-on-1, because my confidence was already at an all-time high. By the time I got to middle school, they not gonna square up with me 1-on-1, because I already had a reputation in the elementary. And middle school, I had to build that reputation in middle school, and which I did. Early on, 7th grade, boom, I'm thumping. Kids in 8th grade, 9th grade, and you know, I'm thumping it out every day. Every day, whether it be on the jitney, whether it's going to be in the mall, whether it's going to be in the parking lot, whether it's going to be in the, you know, wherever it was. Everybody know Rodson is that, you know, he's that guy. And it's just facts. It is what it is. But it pulled me away from my dreams, like all in, you know what I mean? Playing football, seeing this man pursuing his dreams. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Thomas Lane pursuing his dreams. Everybody I played football with was playing ball in high school, and I never got that chance, bro. I cried myself to sleep, bro. I never got that chance. And that was my dreams, bro. My dreams were shattered because I had to use my fists instead of my, you know, my athleticism, my gift, my talent. So that was taken from me. You know what I mean? That was taken from me. Even if I wanted to go to school and not fight, bro, I got to fight. I mean, it was days I was tired, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, man, every time I turn around, I see them fighting, you know, somebody from this area, from that area. But it was just like, bro, I don't want to, but I can't tell my homeboys that because you already set the stage. And that's why
you already embedded in
you
there.
Embedded in that, like, man. It was never ending.
It was never ending. It was consistency. You know what I mean? Even when we went to the beach, all in all, we went to, you know, a hollow over one time. It was like 4 of us, and all our enemies was out there, and all in like, man, we totally don't go out there. You know, you got pressure out there.
You know one thing about Al, man, Al has tunnel vision, bro. You don't play. No,
Al, very much.
He has tunnel
since he was young.
Bro. Al is like, I'm playing ball. If somebody want it, I'm gonna give it to them, but I'm not looking for problems.
Absolutely,
tunnel vision, bro.
You know what I mean? And again, like I said, every time I saw that, I'm just like, man, you know, Allen at practice, or my other homeboys at practice, you know, Rito, the ones that's older than us, that one group older, that he's doing his quarterback, Cass doing it, all these guys going off to college playing ball.
Cass.
You know what I mean? And I'm in the streets fighting and beefing, and I'm like, bro, this is not the life that I wanted. You know what I mean? I was raised correctly. Like, I know what I wanted to do. You know? But again, you know, sometimes God put obstacles in your way to prepare you for your future. So I believe I was, like you said, like a David. You know, I had to fight the battles, and now I'm fighting the same battles, but spiritually now. You know, so it transitioned from a physical fight my whole life to a spiritual fight. You know, dealing with that because coming, you know, my background is 100% witchcraft on my mother's side of the family. So when I got kicked out of my dad because my mom came back into my life, my mom brought the things that I desire. The Jordans, the jewelry.
Got it.
You can get the golds, you can get the tattoos, you can get the ring. You know what I mean? Because my mother came here young, so she's more Americanized
than your father
than my father. So my mother exposed the world to me, which I'm grateful for. You know what I mean? My mom exposed the world to me. She was more lenient You know, if I was smoking weed, you're not gonna just do it in the house, do it outside. I brought girls to the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's more lenient.
And your father was more sheltering.
No, my father was
More strict.
strict.
Yeah, strict.
Like you're gonna go to school, son. You're gonna get a degree, son. You're gonna be great, son. You're gonna be
Like a man,
leader, son.
is supposed to be.
Just a
like
rooted father.
a man.
Because a lot of individuals had fathers, but their fathers was not.
They were absent.
hands-on.
They were there, but they were absent.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I had an actual well-rounded father.
An involved father.
Very involved father, man. Very involved father. I always uplift and praise my father for that. And I am the man today, but for both of them, because my mom exposed what the world looked like.
Yeah.
The house parties. I threw house parties in middle school. You know, just young. You know, house parties and you know, the skipping school and you know, sleeping with girls very early age.
Yeah.
And all of this stuff because I didn't have that. I didn't know what that looked like.
Right.
Because you know, my father had 11 children after his first 3, he had 11 total, and we all lived in one roof.
All 11 of you guys live in
one roof. You know, out of all 11, my father only chose me to be the lead in the church singing, the lead teaching in the church at a young age. And I say, why me, Pops? Like, why not why not my brother and then, you know, my other little brothers? And he said, God chose you, son.
Yeah.
He could see it in you.
He could see it.
Yeah.
Like you know, we have children. We can see it.
Yeah.
And I own up.
But we talked about that earlier.
I own up to that responsibility very early. Not in the sense of doing right by God, but being a leader everywhere I went.
You have to be, bro. You got it's a responsibility. You got
whether that mean leading people the wrong way though.
No, it doesn't matter. But
exactly,
that's what it is.
It was developing what that means. Say if I say, bro, I'm rocking with you, I'm rocking with you.
Yeah.
To the end.
Yeah.
Well, you know, till the wheels fall off. But you know, I took a lot of beating, man. A lot of bruises, a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of hatred, a lot of anger.
Yeah.
You know, because when you fight, you become a violent individual by nature now.
Right.
Of course, especially
it's
every day. It's
redundant.
every day. Yeah.
You know, so the wake up call from leaving high school, I told myself, man, you know what? I want to get a chance to start over again. So my junior year, I got kicked out NMB for creating the gang Young and Dangerous. They considered it to be a gang. You know what I'm saying? And it's I got expelled from all day kind of schools. I went to MacArthur Senior High in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Fresh start.
That's good.
You know what I mean? To play ball my senior, I say I'm gonna play ball my senior year.
Yeah.
Man, I go to MacArthur. My brother went to MacArthur.
So he was there.
He was there.
Yeah, you're not playing ball, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you ain't gonna play ball.
So trouble was waiting for you there.
Man, this stuff is so spiritual, man. And when I got to MacArthur, I was automatically introduced to beef again, bro.
Wow.
Again.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, God, I'm just like, and I always knew, like, man, God, okay, I know if my dad always say, son, if God bring you to it, he could bring you through it.
Yeah.
That stayed with me. But at this point, I'm like, I don't even want to go to school anymore. You know what I mean? But again, having that leader mindset for so long, like you can't start and don't finish.
True.
I said, I'm gonna finish it. I'm fighting every day. And then 4 or 5 of us got kicked out. So so it's me. 4 of the homies. We all out there now. Now it's Dave versus Broward. Now I'm bringing other guys from NMB
from Dave to go
there
to go fight.
So it's
after
like
school.
And again, these responsibilities fall on my hand. God is like, because I know better. I was raised in a household where it says, if you lead my people down the wrong road, the blood shall be on your hand. That's Ezekiel chapter 3.
Yeah, but you can know better, man. But when you're younger, bro, it's hard to make the right decisions.
Come on, you're 18.
Kids.
I'm 18 at this point.
Man, we still kids, man.
But remember, if an 18-year-old individual right now have given the opportunity to salvation, has been given the opportunity to make the right choices, and we give him the solid instructions of how to go about doing so. If that man died and refused the instruction, you think God's gonna say he's young, he's a kid?
No. But I'm saying,
You're right.
certain
You know what I mean?
situations, though,
The law is set.
No, I know what the law says, but as an 18-year-old, your brain is not fully developed for you to be like, I'm a leader. I got to make all the right decisions. It's impossible.
Absolutely,
It's impossible.
but remember, everybody's life is presented with some form of truth.
Yeah. Yes.
I could have easily said, Dad, there's too much trouble in the school. You got to transfer me to another one because, bro put me in a situation.
Yeah, but then that wouldn't make you who you are today. You see what I'm saying? So that doesn't play that way, bro.
So it's all written out.
Yes, exactly. You got to play the role.
You got to play the role.
Yeah.
So is this I don't want to put this out there, but I got to tell the story as it is.
Yeah. Right.
I was presented with my first handgun.
Yeah.
My fourth day at JFK 7th grade.
Yeah.
My brother handed me a handgun.
Yeah.
And I'm in class, bro, trembling.
Wow.
I'm 13 years old with a handgun in my book bag. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, because the beef was so, he has a handgun. So I'm in class with a handgun. And then I'm learning to keep silent. This say, yo, big bro, it's time for you to man up. You know what I mean? Like somebody pressure you is too many, just let off in the air. But I'm 13 years old. So number one, I wanted nothing to do with guns already. Because I was watching my dream being stripped from me.
Yeah.
It was my goal was to go to Michigan and play ball. That was my school. I had it on my wall. As a kid, we had our posters on the wall. I would sit on my knees and I would pray to God. I say, God, I want to go to Michigan. I want to go to Michigan, God. I want to go to Michigan. I want to get a scholarship. And even if I don't get a scholarship, I want to be a walk-on. I'm 6'2". I know if I hit the weights, I got to do something nice with my arm, with my hands. But I was using my hands for a different cause.
Yeah.
Instead of catching the ball, I was using them to defend myself. So when I went to high school, I said, I got to purchase a gun because the beef is just overwhelming. I purchased a gun. Bro, God is amazing, bro. I purchased a gun, and the dude gave me the gun. And the day I was going to use the gun, I said, it just got to a point, I said, I just got to make somebody an example.
Yeah.
I pulled out a gun in front of school, this is broad daylight. I said, I'm going to murk one of them, I'm going to kill one of these guys. The gun jam on me, bro.
Wow.
The gun jam on me, man. Yeah.
Wow. So
and
God saved you that day.
Yeah, for sure. My whole journey. Saved you that
He's
there the whole, vividly.
Yeah.
Now that you can look back, you can see it.
Man,
but before,
vividly, bro.
Yeah.
Vividly. How do you purchase a gun and the dude gave me a gun that's jammed?
Yeah. But that's happened a lot in the hood. Man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Guns is rusty. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Throwaways at the time.
Yeah.
So now the rumor went around and it was saying like, these kids from Miami-Dade has, they looked over the cameras and everything. I'm kicked out of that school. Now I'm going to, Hollandale Adult. Those dudes live in that area. I'm from Miami-Dade. They come to Hollandale Adult. I'm fighting Hollandale Adult, running through the alleys, jumping gates. It was a disastrous growing up for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the price I paid early on for following my brother.
Making the wrong decisions as well, too.
Following my brother in elementary.
Yeah.
Wrong decision.
So, people say, yo, man, you got this reputation, you got the girls, you got this, you got that. But there's a dark side behind that. Just like we see rappers on television right now. There's a dark side behind this whole thing, man.
Of course.
Because what you gonna deal with behind closed doors, you got to deal with them demons. And them demons ain't gonna let you rest.
No,
there is no rest for the wicked.
No.
Yeah.
You can't.
Bro, I'll be laying down, and tears be falling from my eye, and I don't know why tears coming from my eye, because my soul is crying out for help. So I started searching how to escape this life.
Start smoking weed, trying to do whatever,
drinking. I started managing the nightclub, Coco's. And the beef went from fighting to now gunplay now. You know what I mean? Because I'm getting money.
Yeah.
And jealousy coming down when you get money. You know what I mean? So that I watch all my friends go off to college. Al went combine. Kofi goes to college. That whole crew. Yeah. Everybody, off to Tallahassee, Florida State. Everybody going off to school.
Yeah.
And I got to deal with the nightmare that I've created. It's nobody's fault. It's accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
And that's when I was presented with Christ.
Wow.
I was presented with Christ. And Christ, everything caught up with me, man. Everything caught up with me. I used to walk the cemetery 3-4 o'clock in the morning throughout the whole cemetery, and saying, God, I would never take my own life, but I beg you to take my life. When I tell my kids this, I never thought I'll see 21, bro.
Why did you want God to take your life?
Because the beef was just overwhelming. There's too many enemies, man. For people who've been dealing with beef early on in their life, from especially elementary school is when you enjoy your life. Then middle school is when you start to try to find yourself.
Yeah.
High school is when you start to aim in a direction where you perceive yourself. It's the foresight. This is where I see myself. That was stripped from middle school. Elementary, I made those choices. But middle school, it was stripped, taken from me. High school, I was considered a gang violence, a gang leader. My name had a negative connotation to it. There was nothing positive associated with my name. Everybody knows that. If it's rotten, it's always with trouble or, dealing with girls. He's a negative influence. He's a negative individual. So there was nothing positive associated with my name. To know that I came from a father who was very well groomed, very solid, who sung the gospel everywhere he went. Yeah. So I was an embarrassment to my seed. I was an embarrassment to my foundation. I was an embarrassment to my family tree. You know, so when I slept that night at my mom's, though I had the Jordans, the jewelry, the clothes, the shoes.
That stuff means nothing.
No, man, it's vanity.
Vanity. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's
it
vanity.
means nothing,
Yeah.
bro.
You know, brothers be praising this stuff. And that's why when I see individuals now, you know, and again, you can't judge because, you know, all the things I've done, I can't judge.
No, you shouldn't judge.
People, you know, I got this sweater from Goodwill. You know, I'm going to purchase it like, you know, a couple weeks ago. I go to Goodwill, to the thrift store. That's how I was raised. My father took me to the thrift store. His vision was, son, you're going to be a great man. He educated me properly. Shoes don't make you. He took me to Payless. These shoes don't make you, son. He took me to, it was Winn-Dixie. It was this big basket where it'd be like a lot of sneakers in the store. Remember that? It was like, you know, you had to find your size.
Yeah. I remember
You know?
that. I remember those days.
I went to school with that stuff with pride. So what happened is when somebody made fun of that, the anger, the demon came out. So I said, my way of saying, nah, man, that speaking about the situation, you know, from a verbal perspective, I indicated violence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was never embarrassed to wear unnamed brand. It was just that, you know, if you pick on me, then it's going to be violence behind that. So when my mom started giving me name brand, it brought the arrogance,
Out of
the
you.
pride.
Yeah.
And pride goes before destruction. Pride goes before destruction. Nothing good is going to come out of that. So what I did, I started boasting and bragging on what I had on. You know, by the time I was in 9th grade, I'm already rolling. I'm driving.
You know how the game go. You got to play rich, man.
You know what I mean?
We always say that.
You got to play rich, man. You got to play rich,
I'm driving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my mom did have, you know, the guy she was with, my stepdad, he was one of those guys who had a Batima.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was loaded.
Yeah.
So he kept, you know, 100, 300, 400 in my pocket.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I'm out with the fellas, we was the ones, like you say, we purchased the speakers and house parties. We had money to buy, to splurge, to live a celebrity lifestyle very young. Started the 909 underground baseboards production very early on because we had lucrative money coming in.
Yeah.
So, but that lifestyle was, I'm grateful for being exposed early on, but that's a detrimental side a lot of people don't talk about and expose.
Yeah.
That, you know, the demons that you're dealing with behind closed doors, sleeping with multiple women early on, you know, spirits, dealing with Haitian families, especially majority in our community. You know, we lived in a very predominant, Victory Park is predominantly Haitian.
Yeah. Yes.
Allen Park was predominantly Haitian. Ulita Park was, you know, combination of Haitians and Jamaicans.
It's predominantly Haitian too.
Also, so when you sleeping with these young girls where their parents they're non-believers, they do something, you know, witchcraft on their daughters. So you don't take advantage of their daughters. You don't captivate the mind of their daughters. So now you dealing with these unclean spirits. You wrestling with these spirits.
You're taking on their spirit.
They're gonna come and hunt you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I dealt with that firsthand. You know, girls going to their mom crying, say, this man used me, he lied to me, he manipulated me, this and that.
Dang.
So all the trauma, I mean, people all know, man, everybody know I was dealing that with in high school, man.
Yeah,
of
the
course,
first thing my mom told me when I was going to middle school, going to high school, she told me, Haitian girls, you see that? Leave them alone.
Yeah, facts.
Mm-hmm.
Because the mothers would cover their daughters.
Right. Leave them alone, bro.
Yeah, they cover their daughters. And it's only right. Because, you know, we're spiritual people, we do spiritual things.
Yeah.
And they're doing it from a positive perspective, though
So
it's
it
wrong.
seems. So it seems. But
Right. Their perspective is positive, though it's wrong, though.
It's wrong,
Yeah.
though.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing, you're putting a spirit on your daughter that she's not aware about. And that spirit, what it does, you know, if it's not in agreement with that young man, if that young man, like me, I'm a household of faith.
yeah.
And that girl has an unclean spirit, you know, light don't mix with darkness. So
No,
that's what we're doing.
it
We're fighting.
We at war.
Yeah.
We're at war.
I know a brother that actually lost his mind from the V like that, man. Started smoking crack and everything because the girl's mother told him, leave my daughter
leave
be.
my daughter alone.
And he
Yeah.
wouldn't. She caught him in the house. She said, I'm gonna teach you something.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man, a
Never
couple
been
weeks
the
a
same.
month. You know exactly.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
I started
about.
smoking
Yeah.
crack.
Yeah.
And that was a good brother. I love that brother, man.
Yeah.
Love that brother, man.
Unfortunately, man, you know, the spirituality is real.
No, it's,
You know, witchcraft is
man,
super real.
listen, bro.
Yeah.
You know, fast forwarding from there, man, you know, once God caught up with me, it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
No, but before God caught up with you, because you said, man, I wish I would have made better decisions. Because I'm pretty sure once you got done with high school, graduate, whether you graduated or didn't graduate,
Right.
then you had a chance to kind of like change it, right?
Yes.
But then you really didn't, because you went deeper in the streets.
Deeper in the
Yeah, you started
streets.
selling that stuff, huh?
Selling that stuff, man. You know what I mean? And it started off too, before we even got out of high school, we already had an underground radio station. So now I'm able to make my voice known in the streets on the underground world with young kids coming up. And then I did something called Freestyle Fridays. When I said it was my opportunity to expand on my talent.
Yeah. I used to hear on the underground. My sister used to listen to it.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, that's Russell, man."
Yeah.
She's like, I said, "Yeah, them boys crazy, man."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I used the microphone. So every time we was in the club, I made sure that Jimmy did with the turntables.
Smooth.
Smooth. And I said I'm gonna be on the mic because I wanted to gradually progress in my lyrics. So I always rocked the mic. But he would say to me like, "But dude, every time you get on the mic, the whole club fight." Because I promoted
but that spirit. That's that spirit of anger.
Violence.
Yeah.
Because I would play records like after mother niggas wanna you know what I mean?
Yeah. C Murder.
That C Murder. You know
that
the
once that record
environment.
come on, it's a problem.
Yeah,
bro.
it is.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so it's like he was always the positive one. He was big on R&B and hip hop.
How the tables turn today.
Yeah, exactly. And it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. He was always the positive one. I was a negative influence on all of them. Even Johnny Jasmine, J1. J1 was also a very, very introvert, laid back type of guy. He only gonna explode if you push his button.
Yeah.
But all them boys say, man, we can't go nowhere Ross, bro. That boy ready, he explode everywhere we go. So I brought a lot of pressure, unnecessary pressure, a lot of problems to a lot of individuals that was around me.
A lot of problems, bro.
A lot of problems, man. So
one particular problem I heard, man, back in the day, man, was by the Burger King, man. By the Burger King, because I was chilling one day with a couple of people, man.
Yeah.
All right, man, you heard what happened? I said, they started talking. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I said, boy, that boy Rodson, wherever he goes, boy, wherever he goes, boy, there'll be something, boy.
Yeah, and that's true. And it led all the way to I was beefing with Biscayne Zombies. I was beefing with Little Haiti.
All the way by the Burger King.
All the way, man.
Yeah, man.
Exactly. All of them came on the buses and jitneys and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just bringing beef to unnecessary to a whole, and that's just like one man could destroy a nation.
True.
One man can destroy a whole nation.
That's true.
And one man can restore a nation. You know what I mean? So it's like I saw that vividly very young, bringing a whole community out to NMB because of something I've done by going to the Transpower Stadium. We out there, and we used to go to there was another spot. It was called the North Miami National Guards or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that spot.
It was a little spot that we was always in the building. So we was making it known, like, NMB, boom, 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 thumping on Biscayne Zombies, thumping.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly the spot you're talking about. Yeah. Popping back. Boy, look here.
Fridays.
We mobbing deep in the woods.
I remember.
So it's like, but again, it was that anger wouldn't leave.
It's not going to leave.
The anger wouldn't leave.
It wasn't time yet.
Nah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't leave. I tried everything. That anger wouldn't leave.
It didn't leave you.
I said, man, I acknowledge at this point, it's a demon.
Yeah.
Because at that age, you can't identify what that is.
Yeah.
You can't, because you're not really educated properly or don't have the insight or the knowledge of this is a spiritual entity that's living in me, and now that it wants to be fed constantly.
Yeah.
Like, I need violence.
It need that energy, that negative energy.
It's negative energy, bro.
It need that. It needs that to keep growing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
because I remember, bro, like, man, it used to be like, I think you used to love Pac too, bro, because I used to hear it in your tone when you used to rap.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, yeah, boy, you gonna get into it, boy.
Yeah.
Because it was just so much anger all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was always anger, man. Well, what was your nickname? It was Smooth and
Silk. Yeah, Silk. Just like Silk the Shocker.
Yeah, but the thing was, man, but you was never that silky smooth, bro.
No.
Always rough and rugged.
A rocket, man. A rocket.
Waiting to explode, man.
Rocket, man. And it caught up. Like I said, these things catch up with you. Because, you reap what you sow. There's no other way around it. I remember how I got hired in the strip club realm. Smooth introduced me to that.
Yeah.
And which was the worst decision I ever made.
Why?
You know what I mean? Because again, at this point, I was kind of slowly pulling myself away from the limelight, being everywhere that everybody would normally go.
Yeah.
I started spending more time in the studio. Carl, we were just working on our albums and trying to get, mainstream. And we really started putting a lot of, time into music. And he was like, hey, cuz, You know, this opportunity for you to get into the, the strip club world.
Man, well, look, but we're not gonna get into that yet, man. You know, we got to cut it short, man. The people got to come back for part 2, man.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? You got to come back for part 2,
Definitely.
man. I'm telling y'all, man, right now, man. And I don't co-sign a lot of things, man. But y'all need to come back to listen to part 2, man. To really see how this man evolved into a different being, man.
Definitely.
So it shows you this proof in the pudding. God is real.
He's real.
He's real. You got to put in the time and the work to develop that relationship, right, Al?
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So stay back for part 2 with Rodson, man. This is a Change Tomorrow Today podcast. We love y'all. And as always, man, I know my boy Al got something he want to tell y'all. Go ahead, Al.
Please hit the like button and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing.
It don't cost nothing. Just hit it, man. All right. We love y'all, man. Peace. Stay tuned for part 2, man.
You cannot take my mind. You cannot take my heart. You cannot take my soul. You cannot take my goals. You cannot stop my time. You cannot stop my grind. What's mine will always be mine. I was born to be a fighter, left alone in the fire. Had no one to come and save me. Had to learn I have to save me. Mama